Going to top up my wages.
Wait. Matron, take them away. Oh.
And a warm welcome to one and all. If this is your first time here, big fella, that is the Scruffy Trader. What I'm trying to do is put trading in the real world. Maybe show you a trick or two along the way. So if that sounds good, do hit that little subscribe button. Genuinely helps and motivates me to do more of this. And if you get value from the video, do click the like. Again, it helps me to continue this channel. So with that said, what are we doing? Well, I've already been to market, and I did a video earlier on where I showed you that I'd shown the guys in the Scruffy squad what I was doing before I took the trade. And then you saw the trade play out in front of you. Now that made me roughly about £100 in probably about 60 seconds. Just went straight into target. Fantastic. But I look for £200. And I have a mantra that is score, score, stop. So I've done the first trade. Now I'm looking to do the second trade. And I need about 100 quid out of what I'm looking for. Give or take. And then once I've done that, that is it. So the moral of this story today is less is more. And I can't illustrate that enough. Well, I can actually. I can. I got a message this morning from a chap that I speak to all the time. And nice guy. But from the message I had today, a little bit worrying. So let me show you. Now, there's nothing wrong with the question, but the undertone of that is a great worry, because you'll never sort of make money off a phone. So when you see these clowns that are saying, oh, on my phone, I've got this wonderful system, and I've seen the adverts on the front of this, on the front of my videos, and a lot of the time I just want to put my foot through the telly. You know, I just think, yeah. I nearly swore there because I've had a royal week. So that I'm kind of fighting the tide all the time in the trading world, because it's portrayed so much as easy money, especially when you see this.
You ding dong!
You know, and I mean, that's just la la land. It's stupid, you know, and people get sucked into how the magic system works. And I see it all the time in forums, and eventually it just grinds you down to sort of think, these people are just bloody muppets, you know. Nobody can be that daft, you know. Ultimately, you're never going to make money from nothing. That's the first thing that you need to get into your head. You know, it takes money to make money. So if you want to make money, you need to have an account. That account needs to be funded, and the funding needs to be a half decent size. Now, if you haven't got the money, you need to build it up. That's why I do Morningstar. I was at it this morning. If you bear with me, I'll kind of show you the current results of that. Let me just pull this up. This is my current sheet, what I'm looking at the moment, which is telling me to buy these markets. I've already done cable, as you can see, but Morningstar is this, and I was asked to do an update, and it just so happens it's in my mind. I started this in March with 350, and in March it gave me 40 quid. But off 350, that is excellent. And I'll show you where that 40 quid came from. I then started the new tax year with 391, and it's slowly growing up. All right. My win rate isn't as great this month, but I'm still making money, and it's still increasing in growth. So if I look at this month, they're the stats. This is what I'm looking at. I'm not over-egging the account because I'm dealing with pennies. And this account will just grow steadily across the year to eventually be a pot that will make the money that I'm about to show you on my main wage account. Okay, I hope this makes sense. But what happens is people see that and they think it's immediately going to become 50,000. Takes a long time. I've been working on this, like you can see from the summary, from March, and it's just growing gradually. But it has grown 64% in its time. So you tell me a bank in the land that would give you that return. There isn't one. And that's kind of what I'm driving at when I showed you that. Your expectations sometimes are too big. You have to earn the right to trade a big account. Anyway, rant over. Let's have a look at the trade. So what are we looking at today? Well, as we've seen, there's a couple of markets that interest me. I normally trade the DAX, but I've been looking at the DAX and it's not quite ready yet. However, FTSE's pretty darn good, and so is the pound JPY. Now, this is probably the one that I'm going to be looking at this morning. It's the better of the two. What we're currently looking at, you can see a strong drive down. It's pushed up, it's had a jump around, and it's now forced up with a good buy. It has come down, it is rejected. I do like a Bollinger Band actually, guys. You don't need moving average or anything if you have a Bollinger Band on, because it has one through the middle. And it'll also show you the extremes of the market. And it's sitting sort of in flux. In other words, it's not an extreme, it's ready to move. Okay. So just get rid of that. They're not really to base a trade decision on, but they help you guide a trade. The price is what you want to be looking at in the levels. Now we know it'll move from said level to said level. Okay, so if this is plateauing out, you can see the long tail coming in. And if I move this out to the 4 hour, you'll see it's had a colossal run up. Now it's had a colossal run down. But look where it's stalled. You know, there's a cluster of levels here, key levels, and it's failed to penetrate them. Well, if it can't push through, it has to come back up. Take this out to a daily. And what do we see at this cluster point? Well, what do you know? The reason it's clustered is because it's incredibly strong. It's been there before. It's clustered there before. Last time, clustered. All right. So these clustering points are excellent. Then what we're looking at on the daily is indecision, which is here. And that indecision is carrying forward into this day, but the pressure is really to the upper side. And you can see that here. So if I take this down into a 15-minute to trade it, well, that's all I need to... Oh, coffee. Because we all know Scruffy likes it, coffee. Likes Winky as well. All right. So, come down. There's the tail. All I need now is a reasonable reason to get into this. Okay. Because my target is up to here. Now, if I'm at 5 or a point, I need 20 points. So let's have a look, see if we have enough space. Just move that up to there. I can easily get my 20 points up into that next level. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play the trade out. And I'll be targeting up here. And hopefully I'll get 100 quid relatively quickly. That's it, boys and girls. Done. Killed it off because it's starting to turn red. Yeah, it's flicking green, but I'm not bothered. Why? Well, it's at a stretch point. Pretty much got close to target. And there's nothing worse than seeing a trade get into target or within a tick or two and then just run away. Happens all the time. And it is horrible. And if you look at this, it's sort of having a bit of a battle. So a decision was made, just kill it, take the money because I'm way ahead of where I need to be and be happy. And there you go. So that particular trade has just pulled in a reasonable amount of money. You know, we've got 46 out of one of them, 136 out the other, plus the £100 that you saw in the other video. I am more than happy today. So why did I have 2 orders in the first place? And why did I kill it? Well, it's very simple. When I'm setting a trade up, I like the price to come to me. But once I've committed to the decision, I can put an order above, so if it runs, it snaps into it. But what if it runs backwards? Just a little bit. So put a couple of orders in, and this is running in from the video I did early because I did say I'd mention this and I forgot, which is why I've come back to camera. It comes down and it picks up the other order, so that would become the benchmark. Whichever one of the 2 triggers first becomes the benchmark, and then you just scale backwards to a point where you roughly think you're wrong, but you're getting a better price all the time down into it, and then you can just manage up into target, which is what you see me do. And what it does is it kind of reduces exposure, but it increases profitability. And in this case, it's done it quite well. And I know I do it a lot, and you all want to see the secret of how I trade. Well, if you want to see that, come to the Scruffy squad. And not only do you see how I do it, I give you a heads up before I start trading as well. So you've already got the framework in your mind before you go to market from somebody who actually does it for a living and shows that they do it for a living. And that's it, really. I mean, I can't stress this enough about keeping your trades as simple as possible. It'll always be levels and it'll always be price. Why? Because they are the 2 constants in the market. If you're relying on indicators, etc., they're not constant, they're lagging. So they're way behind what's happening now at this moment in time. Now, your levels, yes, they are derived from price, but they are locked in stone. They don't move. That's why they are constant. And the price is just what you're looking at this very moment in time. So it becomes a constant in itself, or the here and now, whichever way you want to call it. And that's it. Now, your indicators are important, and you do need a basket of them to understand what's going on. But what they do is they kind of give you an overview of the market. And then you take that overview into an idea, and then drill that idea down into a point where you're quite happy to get in, and then manage from one section to the next. And that's day trading. That's kind of the watered version of what day trading is. You then got to look at your psychology, because your psychology is incredibly sort of, well, I would say it's probably more than 70% of your trading, possibly even as high as 80%, because you've got to kill the gambler within you. And if you're sort of like a young lad, which are very difficult to sort of show how to trade, because they're full of I'm right and gun-ho and all of this, and inevitably they don't sit back and make a reasonable choice. They just go at it, and then they find that, well, they're in trouble. So your mindset is something to keep an eye on. And that's it, guys. So there you go. Another trade. I will be doing the coffees with Scruff. Do keep asking your questions in the comments, and I'll compile them into a Q&A session. And in fact, that's what we'll do. You'll see my kind of WhatsApp and what have you down in the description. Just drop me a message with a question, and when I come back off the break next week, I'll do an open Q&A, and I'll answer each of the questions. But you've got to ask the question first. All right. So either drop it in the comments of this video, which is preferred, or just find a way of messaging me, and I'll go through it, and I'll do a coffee with Scruff open Q&A. Okay. So that's it. Good day, paid result. Do like the video, do subscribe. It's the only way the channel's going to survive, because it's let's just say it's not doing as good as it should, and we'll keep trucking. So as always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.